One Piece has finally made it to its 1000th chapter. After over 23 years of serialization, the GOAT of the manga industry has hit the landmark that only a few other series have managed to reach. Of course, no series could achieve this massive amount of success without having a story that has continued to evolve and keep the reader invested on a larger scale. When talking about One Piece and its successes, the larger world and narrative is often the focus, and for good reason. But we can't forget just how good One Piece is on a scene-by-scene basis. So today, in partnership with a handful of other YouTubers led by Seth the Sin, I will be exploring one piece of One Piece, Sanji's lowest moment. And when you're done with this video, make sure to check out everyone else's. It will be linked down below in a playlist titled One Piece of One Piece. The scene that I want to focus on today has no action, and only one of the Straw Hats in it. A scene that has the lowest moment for Sanji as a character. This scene is, of course, when Sanji overhears Pudding telling his sister Big Mom's true plan for the wedding, and how Pudding never truly loved Sanji. A scene that takes place at the end of chapter 850 and the start of chapter 851. Like any great scene, it functions on multiple different levels. Firstly, the immediate tension of the situation. Secondly, how it fits in with the current arc of Whole Cake Island. And lastly, its role in the entirety of One Piece's story. Going into this arc, Sanji had been kidnapped by Beige Capone to come to Whole Cake Island so he can marry Big Mom's daughter Pudding. Turns out Sanji is actually a prince of Germa 66 and has been taken back to help make an alliance with Big Mom. Of course, Sanji truly wants to stay with the Straw Hat Pirates, as he and his family have issues. But he doesn't want the wrath of a ruthless nation and an Empress of the Sea coming after his friends. So he makes the really shitty decision to leave the Straw Hats and live with his Horde family. Of course, Luffy does not take very kindly to his decision and tries to get him to come back. Sanji refuses to go back until the last straw falls in this one scene. Sanji had come to terms with his new reality, and Pudding seemed like the only bright spot left in his life. Sanji then decides to go for a little stroll and bring some food to his fiancée. When Sanji arrives at the room, Pudding's door tells her that she is busy, so Sanji goes around back and hears her laughing. Turns out Pudding has Sanji's sister held hostage and is lecturing her about Big Mom's true plans to kill everyone at the wedding the next day. That everything before this has all been a big lie. Every single good moment between Sanji and Pudding, up until this point, was just a fabrication. Everything has been a big show so Big Mom can seize power from Germa 66. And this is where the subtlety of this moment arises. In a series that is known for its amazing world building, big action sequences that go on for hundreds of chapters, and unique powers that make every encounter intriguing, one of the moments that stands out most to me is of a character listening to a conversation. Sanji hitting his lowest moment. Leading up to this point, Sanji has had to make many difficult decisions that have put him in a terrible emotional state. And now, with his one glimmer of hope dashed, Sanji turns to light his cigarette, something that he's done countless times over the series. But with the rain putting out the spark of his lighter, all that he is left with is his own tears. Sanji gave Pudding everything he had, all of his trust in her, and she betrayed him. This one scene has a perfect mix of tension and intrigue as we learn about Big Mom's true plan while getting an avalanche of emotions with Sanji. This scene leads Sanji to return to Luffy and rejoin the Straw Hats with an even stronger bond. But Sanji's love for Pudding that should have been shattered in that moment doesn't go away, and he still can't help but be in awe of her beauty at the wedding that he knows is all just a setup. This split between Sanji and Pudding, with Sanji then returning to the Straw Hats, leads to the major payoffs that occur later in Whole Cake Island. Sanji saves the day by making a cake so good that it stops Big Mom's rage, by coming to an understanding with Pudding, another child of a tyrant who's just trying to survive. And for as good of an ending that Whole Cake offers, with the crew escaping the clutches of an Emperor of the Sea, we can't help but think about what could have happened if Sanji and Pudding met under different circumstances, making the scene where he overhears her even more devastating. So in the moment, the scene is filled with heartbreak and tension and helps develop the emotional core of Whole Cake Island with Sanji and Pudding's relationship. But it also retroactively redefines the rest of One Piece's story. After experiencing this moment, you will never be able to go back to reading One Piece the same. Now you know the pain that will be caused for Sanji's undying love and trust of women. You know that he wasn't just some random kid on the seas, but a prince of a ruthless family that punished him for being too human. This also fits in for Sanji's lowest moment, as many of the Straw Hats have a moment in the story where they hit their lowest, and being with the crew saves them. For Luffy, it is after the death of Ace, where the thought of his crew keeps him going. For Robin, it is at Enies Lobby, where the crew is ready to wage war on the entire world government in order to save her. For Nami, it is when Luffy gives her his hat, and assures her that Arlong will be taken down. And now for Sanji, it is when he returns to Luffy in the rain with some soggy food as he is reaccepted into the crew. Even after everything Sanji has done, Luffy will still help him when he needs it the most. And to be honest, there is something that just feels so compelling about this moment for Sanji. It is so easy to only focus on the big moments in life. For us, it may be graduating school, falling in love, or moving to a different city. Those are the big moments that we will tell other people for years to come. That is what people who don't know us very well will use to define who we are. But in reality, it is the smaller moments, everything in between, the times we failed when no one was watching, that really define us. None of the other Straw Hats will ever know the sadness Sanji felt when he overheard Pudding. But that is what makes this moment so special. For a story to make it to 1,000 chapters with consistent success, it is the smaller moments like this that give value to the rest of the story. Of course, the big action sequences will always stick out, but when discussing One Piece, even the smallest scene becomes an important piece to the rest of the story. This moment may only be one small piece of One Piece, but its implications are felt through the entirety of the story. Sanji's lowest moment being only a fraction of One Piece's story, but an important chapter on its way to 1,000. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I can't believe One Piece has finally hit chapter 1000, and that chapter was pretty awesome to read. Let me know what your thoughts are if you're caught up to One Piece. What are your thoughts on the most recent chapter? And of course, make sure to check out everyone else's video on the playlist. It was a lot of fun making this One Piece video. I hope you enjoy it. I couldn't help myself but to talk about Sanji. I know I've talked about him so much on this channel, but I had to talk about him again for chapter 1000. So thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to everyone else in that playlist. Give them all some love, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.